Hey guys, welcome back to Just a Geek in the Garage. Today kind of a follow-up video to yesterday's video of the Klein Blackout tools. I did a video yesterday kind of showing these tools right here, which was the 11-in-1 that's Blackout right now over at Lowe's limited edition for $14.99. This one I believe was made in Taiwan. And then these two screwdrivers also $14.99, but these ones are made in the US. Seems to be, great little screwdrivers. I did a full review on them yesterday, so if you guys want to take a look at that, please go back and look at that video. Sorry about that, just hit the camera. However, when I went to go pick these up, like I mentioned in the other video, they weren't out on display yet, so it took me a little while to actually, get these from the store. And by the time he kind of came out with these, I didn't want to ask about these guys as well, so I figured, you know what, I'll place an order for pickup through their locker system. And that's what I ended up doing today. So I ended up ordering these two. So this is the four basic tools that they have currently going on, or at least will be going on, kind of for their holiday specials, which is going to be the two screwdrivers, Phillips and standard, and then they got a box cutter right here, utility knife, the 11-in-1, and the wire strippers. Oddly though, unlike some of their other specials, only a couple of these things are made in the U.S., so you have these two screwdrivers are made in the USA, and the wire strippers are made in the USA, where they had a special earlier this year with their kind of made in the USA or forged in the USA set, where they had four different sets of tools that you could purchase, or actually five sets of tools you could purchase, but all of them were made in the USA. So again, surprising that not all of these are, but I'll take what I can get when it comes to made in the USA products. So again, I did a review on these guys and these guys yesterday. So if you want to see that, go ahead and take a look at the video from yesterday. But today I want to focus on these guys. So the wire strippers, I was definitely looking at purchasing from the get-go. One, because they are made in the U.S., as you can see, right here. And then they're this kind of blackout edition, which I think looks really, really cool. And I thought, I really like Klein tools in general, especially the made in the USA stuff. So I said, $19.99 seems like a pretty good price to pay for a tool of this quality. And it actually kind of goes with their, it looks almost identical to the one that was made or the American forged one from earlier this year that was on special for, I think this was around the same price. It was around $19.99, but obviously in the red, white, and blue color scheme. So this is one I would definitely recommend, picking up. I think, again, great deal for something that's a Klein made in the USA. This one, however, I was kind of debating whether I should pick it up, mostly because of its price. It was $14.99, and it's not made in the US. This was actually made in, let's see if it shows it here. This was made in Vietnam. And so I was, I'm like, I'm not sure if I want to spend $15 on a utility knife that's not even made in the US. I mean, normally, I don't know about you guys, but when I typically buy utility knives, it's usually something like this that can be picked up for, a dollar or two, because ultimately with the utility knife, it's the blade that makes the biggest difference, maybe not necessarily the body of the blade. And since you're going to be replacing these things constantly anyways, I figured it doesn't, make that big of a difference. So, but I decided, let's pick this thing up and see what it's all about. And actually, I kind of, really like it. It's pretty, robust for just a utility knife. It feels really good. It's pretty hefty. It has a little belt clip on there as well. But a couple of things that I liked about this one that I've seen on some other ones, I just never had a chance to pick them up, is one, it has the quick release right here. So it's just a simple button. You press it, the full blade comes out, and you can put the new blade in. Sorry, hard to do this on camera. Put the new blade in, release the button, and there you go. The blade is in there. Where with something like this, you actually have to take the whole thing apart, get the blade that's kind of, stored in here, replace the old blade. And so what I end up doing is, even like this blade, it's a little bit dull, is I end up having a dull blade for longer just because I'm kind of too lazy to go through that process. Where something like this, you saw, it just takes literally seconds. And then even better, right here is where the blades are going to be stored. So it comes with 5 blades already. And then you can usually buy these blades for super, super cheap. I know I just picked up a set of, I forget again if it was 50 or 100 blades from Harbor Freight for around $4. It was one of their dollar deal sales. So that'll last me, probably years with blades like this. So Another nice thing about it is it has this this button right here, and that's how it locks into place. So you can either lock into place like a normal utility knife like that, or you can actually lock it in at this angle if you prefer, which I can definitely see a use case for this. And then, or just lock it in. And I did find when you press the button, it is pretty. Oops, sorry, hit my computer there. It's pretty loose here, so it actually comes out pretty easily. Sorry, it's hard to do on camera without you having. So you can even do it one-handed without having to get your the other hand involved in case maybe you're holding a box or something with the other hand that you want to cut. And it has a belt cutter built in right there. So a lot of function for just a regular kind of utility knife. Again, $14.99, especially, if this was made in the U.S., I would have bought this in a heartbeat. But I definitely had to think about it. But I figured, what, if I'm picking up the other 3 sets of tools that they have on the Blackout edition, I might as well get the full set while I'm at it. And then today when I ended up also picking up just another 11-in-1 because I like this guy so much. I think it looks, really cool. Plus, this is one of my most useful kind of tools in the garage. I have these 11-in-1s, or sometimes they're 6-in-1s or 4-in-1s from a bunch of different manufacturers, and they tend to get used quite a bit because sometimes it's easier just to grab one of these than to find, something else where you're looking through bits and things like that. And especially electricians out there kind of know that this is a go-to because it's going to have most of the fasteners that you're going to encounter. You're going to be able to do it with something like this. So one thing that I would keep in mind, like I mentioned yesterday, is these are probably not going to be out at your local Lowe's quite yet, at least not on display. Supposedly they're going to be kind of a holiday time like gift giving type display. So if you go to your Lowe's, or if you go online or the app and you see that it's in stock, it's probably not going to be in the aisle that it tells you it's supposed to be. So you might need to grab an associate to help you out. Or you can do what I did the second time, which is just simply order online, do on-store pickup. And especially if your Lowe's has a locker system like mine does, you can do that as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe.